you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on these numbers. From these particular numbers, what makes you happiest?
I think it's not where we are, but the journey we have walked.
Yeah.
When I joined Equity 35 years ago, we were making losses.
Yeah.
We were the smallest financial institution in Kenya. We were number 66.
That's true.
So seeing us come this far, we give glory and praise to God.
Yeah.
But we also thank the customers who have worked with us. So this is a consistent journey of determination. This is a journey that has built resilience in us, and it demonstrates what we can do to our African continent. We can transform it. The way we have transformed Equity from the ashes to the top.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of work for our staff, a lot of hard work and determination because they are purpose-driven.
Yeah.
They are convicted that they exist to change lives, give dignity, and expand opportunities for wealth creation.
Absolutely.
What you've talked about, almost 100 billion of profit
for tax,
just speaks
Yeah.
of the work that has been done in trying to empower people. Is an outcome of great work in giving people loans, in providing saving, and particularly inclusion, and also investing in society through the Equity Group Foundation.
Wow.
So I celebrate the journey, and it feels good that we have been consistent, we have been faithful, we have been honest, and we have kept the commitment of the purpose.
Yeah. It's only because you announced these results very early in the morning, the vendors of the flowers were not open yet. I wanted to bring them physically. But anyway, one of the questions that definitely investors and shareholders will ask is the fact that this is a peak moment. They can see this is a peak moment of equity. And the question then would be, is this really a peak moment, or is it a new dimension of equity moving forward?
This is a step change.
Yeah.
It's a new beginning. It's a strategy that has transformed the organization.
Yeah.
We pursued a strategy for regional expansion, and we now see half of that performance is coming from the region.
Yeah.
Half of the balance sheet is outside Kenya. So it's success.
Yeah.
It's a new beginning where those subsidiaries now take over and propels us to the next level of growth. It's a reward for diversification. We said we are no longer just a bank. We're now a financial group. Insurance has taken off. And we have incurred the cost of setup. Now is propelling them to growth. If you look internally, because of shocks after shocks since 2016, we've been building a defensive capability. We're trying to build the bank to be agile. That process of transforming the bank is also complete. So these two combining regional diversification and transformation, including use of technology, has propelled us to a new level. And that level is ground zero. It's the beginning. So I can look at the customer straight into the eyes and say, the better days are ahead of us.
Wow, lovely. And really good news to the shareholders. We shall be telling you more even about the dividends. But let's first of all talk about the operating environment, because I feel like these are interesting times. But even that year, you operated under high interest rates, rising oil prices, geopolitical uncertainty, and all that. And I wanted to ask you, what did you get right that allowed you to even still see these particular results?
It is true, the operating environment has been very challenging.
Absolutely.
The first interest capping ended in 2023. COVID ended in 2023. The ramification and impact of that has dragged us on. You notice it caused significant growth in NPLs. We had never seen anything like where we've had. Our non-performing loans went all the way to 22 from 5%. And that was really shocking. So we have been able to weather that challenge consistently.
Absolutely.
And that released the energy of the organization. We're not now playing defensive ball of collecting. We're now playing aggressive ball of lending. So that was a big issue. The second one is that we have had a lot of disruptions, particularly in terms of inflation, exchange rate volatility, and interest rates.
Yeah.
The crisis between Russia and Ukraine has always been underestimated, but it induced instability in microeconomic that is what we were operating in. And when we thought we had got used to it, Israel did its own thing.
Yeah.
And there with Palestine, now Israel has moved on to the Gulf, the Middle East, and now we have what we never anticipated, that oil prices per barrel will move from 60 shillings to 110.
Yeah.
So those are the environment that we have been operating in. But because shocks have become the order of the day, we have said, like the bird, we have known the hunter has learned to shoot without missing. We have to learn to fly without patching.
Yes.
So we have built resilience in this bank over the last 5 years. We have rebuilt the balance sheet to be agile and flexible. And that is the energy that again has been released, that we could be able to move assets in our balance sheet with ease. We also conserved the cash. Out of the 2 trillion of assets, 1 trillion is in cash and near cash. And again, that shows the latent power that the organization have built and the lower risk appetite that it absorbed during that time. What we have now done is to invest in people. We realized this is not village football. This is a football with the sharks. And we had macroeconomic challenges. We had to go to tested and proven skills and competencies. And so we have transformed our bench, not at just management, at executive and at the board. The conversations that are being held in equity are very different. There are people who have seen it, who have been knocked, and people who have survived, and to tell the story. And their story is now being told in the performance of equity.
I love that, and I looked at the composition, excellent selection of very excellent people in their respective places. I want to finalize this part of the operating environment and segue just directly to the region that you're operating very well. And there are interesting things that I picked out, especially on growth and everything else. But I wanted to ask you, we saw the AGOA renewal, and I noticed that you talked about it, commodity boom, and even investor flows. And you've been doing a lot of work as well to help even investors come here to see the opportunities in the region and taking them around as well. So I wanted to ask you this part. What excites you most about our region now? And what are you eyeing as equity? What are you seeing as the biggest opportunities here?
Our purpose, other than changing lives and giving dignity to our people, was to expand opportunities for wealth creation. And we have never had a moment in history that the possibility of realizing wealth creation in this region has never been better. As you have likely said, AGOA is open. African Continental Free Trade Area has now not only been signed, but has been validated. So it has come into place. We have seen infrastructure. We have never been at the level we are, particularly in energy. A lot of solar, a lot of renewable, with countries like Ethiopia surprising the world, having the highest power generation single plant. That energy has really changed. I think we also underestimate the amount of resources that have been put in education and how we have converted the human capital. The focus on health has also helped to increase productivity. Now, when you look at enablers of infrastructure, including internet, including energy, including, and then social investment people in education and health, and then suddenly infrastructure is laid out, and then we are lucky. The world wants to transition from fossil fuel energy production to renewable. And Africa holds 62% of all renewable energy potential. Then we have the biggest opportunity. When you look at electric cars or transition in energy, the critical minerals are significantly present in the region. So this combination of factors give us a unique opportunity to experience a Southeast Asia growth movement, where we have seen Southeast Asia countries, Singapore, Taiwan, and all the others, growing for 30 years consecutively.
I want to talk a bit on the strategy and competitive edge. And I wanted to just pose this direct question to you. What did you say, especially with the results that are already working and you can see the numbers? What is your competitive edge?
I think two things.
Yeah.
The human capital.
All right.
We can provide solution to any of our customers now with ease and comfortably.
Yeah.
The second one is our size. We can now give a single loan of up to 75 billion. So we can now fund infrastructure, we can fund dams, we can do power generation plans for people who have the history of capability. Okay. That ability will help us to be a catalyst of transformation of the human competence and capability. Yeah. The third one is our investment in technology. Okay. 98.2% of all transactions happen outside the branch. We have brought seamless, easy, convenient banking to the people. Yeah. We have compressed the distance and geography. You do banking wherever you are, whatever time you want. That convenience and appropriate products, particularly trade finance. And I want to look at manufacturers, processors in the eyes and say, test us with trade finance and treasury product. That is where we have the biggest capability. Yeah. But let me not forget the brand that we have built, an iconic global brand that has attracted partners that we could never think about.
You're right.
We have 26 development banks that have said, James, we like what you are doing. Can we syndicate? And we now have $30 billion of partnership money that we can tap in for our people. And lastly, is the track record. For 35 years, we have moved ourselves from number 66 to number 1. We have won the trust and respect of people. So trust is earned. So it's now working. So there's no more storming. We have normed. Let's perform. Let's perform.
I love that. There's one big conversation we've always had with you about NPLs. And I looked at what you have done because it dropped all the way. We're now talking about 10%. You're about to even go to the single digit levels. I wanted to ask a simple question. What did you do?
I think we ring-fenced the loans that had gone bad. We had legacy 17 loans. 5 years ago. We ensured that before we clean the dam, is no more data flowing into the dam. We streamlined. And so we don't have NPLs that are younger than 5 years. They are all older than 5. Then we zeroed on them and said, this season is about collection. And we have learned them through the whole cycle of collection, going to court, proving our case, and we want to return depositors' money. And so in the process, we have been incredibly successful. We are very touched by Kenya, where NPLs have moved for corporates, have moved from 22% to 16%. That jump in 1 year is what we expect to jump. So we are at the tail end of NPLs. Then we have improved our ability to assess loans. That's why we are not generating new NPLs more. And then our foundation has embarked on massive training and development of our people so that they are knowledgeable before borrowing. We are calling that de-risking. And then 2, we're also saying, why don't we move away from thinking security to cash flow? And if we have a very good cash flow, instead of a leader insisting on security on young people, let's pay a guarantee. And we have now 500 billion of guarantee funds from Africa Guarantee Fund. That is a subsidiary of the African Development Bank, so that we encourage people who have no security, women and youth, to borrow.
Absolutely.
And that explains our Young Africa Work project, where we have identified 900,000 youth, trained 780 on financial literacy, enhanced that with entrepreneurship for 680, give them loans, 400 billion shillings at risk, just guarantee, and we have seen them create 2.6 million jobs. And their repayment is better than our normal borrowers.
Wow.
So we can build the capacity of people. The way we went to school and learned to speak English, we can train our people to be excellent borrowers.
Wow, I love that. I love that. I think finally, as we touch on a bit of the numbers, I noticed, which is quite interesting because I was looking at the industry, some of the players in the industry, their net interest incomes were struggling, but yours went up 17%. Even unfunded income as well was up 7%. And I wanted to ask you, what is driving this mix? Because some people recorded actually negatives at their net interest income.
If you look at our top line, net interest income is only 2% up. But the government, which was competing with us and crowding us out when it was taking treasury bills at 18%, reduced that and is only now offering 7%. So the cost of deposits went down significantly from 18 to 8%. And that is the reduction of 28% in our cost. So it is more of a cost reduction other than a revenue issue. And that's what we are calling its efficiency. We're becoming more and more efficient.
Dr. You have seen the bank move in different technological phases. Even the ATMs themselves were technology to most people, you know, moving all the way to digital banking. And today I heard you speak a big time about AI, which is very ripe at this particular moment. And I think I heard you say about how you're training your staff and everything else. And I was like, wow, this is the way to go. So I wanted to ask you this particular question. What do you see and what does AI-enabled banking actually, you know, look like in practice? And what are you preparing yourself for?
For the since 1998, we started sponsoring the best student in this country for their education, the Equity Leadership Program.
Absolutely.
That program has now 12,000 of the best in this country. Then we started Wings to Fly, which has 60,000. Combined the 12 and the Wings to Fly who have completed high school, we have 33,000 students in university. We still have 25,000 students in our secondary. Time has come for us now to give them the opportunities. And what we thought is that, why don't we adopt for the industrial technologies? We've put the first cohort of 415 of the ELP scholars into a program of converting them through AI training, coding training, because we have seen that the future is in technology. So we must become a platform, a technological platform with banking licenses. And that is eventually is what we are investing in. If you look at our staff, we have enrolled all of them on AI certification, coding certification, because we are seeing AI improves the productivity. AI is artificial intelligence. So even if I'm not as highly gifted in intelligence, AI is more intelligent than the best professor we have in the world. So I can leverage on AI and be as that professor and improve my productivity 6-7 times. That is what we are doing with AI. AI is intelligent, so you can embed it through machine learning and monitor for you and beat any fraudster. It is cleverer than any fraudster. So we're using AI particularly to deal with the menace of social engineering, where people are called. And so we want to know through AI, is it possible that this transaction is happening because a customer has been called by a fraudster and is being given instruction? We want to save such customers using AI. So we have embraced AI, we have embraced coding, we have embraced digitization, and all the other technologies of the fourth industrial revolution.
I'll close with your expansion plans because you spoke big time. You have a vision 2030, and I had the big number. How is it going so far? Last I checked, you were tapping on Ethiopia. I don't know how it's going on, but I can see because now equity is Pan-African.
We've been in Ethiopia with a rep office for 7 years because it's the most attractive market for us, because it's a neighboring market. We have developed the road all the way to Ethiopia, to our border of Moyale. They have developed their part. So we can really promote trade between Ethiopia and Kenya. And Ethiopia has 130 million people. That is more than 2 times the population of Kenya. And the question is, how do we open that market for Kenyan traders. And the best we can do is to be in that market.
Absolutely.
So that we can fund them from their market, the way we took Kenyans to South Sudan, the way we took Kenyans to Uganda, the way we took Kenyans to Tanzania and Rwanda, and how increasingly we're taking Kenyans to invest in DRC because it's a great market. So Ethiopia, we are now on the ground. The law, which has bad international banks, have been changed. There are a few nuances of the law that needs to be discussed. And we have engaged the regulators and the government with a view of entering that market as soon as we're able to do. But we're also looking south.
Where else are you looking?
We have taken people to east and central and now a little bit the north. We're asking ourselves, this Robito corridor in Angola that everybody is talking about, Americans, Chinese are fighting for in Zambia and Mozambique. Why don't we take Kenyans there to see what Americans have seen?
I love that. I love that. And I also noticed your leadership as well has some people from the south as well.
Yes, because we are exploring. So they are the ones who are showing us the way.
Okay. Lovely. You have to end by talking to the shareholders. What have you given them? This is because everything is up, including even your share.
Thank you very much, shareholders. So this year we made a profit of 75.5 billion shillings. That's we broke Kenyan corporate history in terms of profitability. We thank God and we thank our customers for enabling us. As we said, we have plans of expanding. We can see the uptake of loans is big. So we have had the delicate discussion on how to share these 75.5 billion after tax. And we have increased the dividend payout to the shareholders from 16 billion shillings last year to 22 billion shillings. That's a 35% growth in dividend payout. And we've retained the balance so that we can go to Ethiopia when we are ready. We can go to Angola when we are ready. And we can now be able to transfer the 500 billion Kenya shillings in risk-free treasury assets into lending, where we'll be able to increase the yields by 60%. So dividend, we wait the approval of the shareholders. Looking forward for our AGM so that shareholders could get the dividend same day.
Dr. James Mwangi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Wow, there you have it. Shareholders, you had it from himself. And very good news as well for everybody. And really looking forward to the group really defining, especially the fabric of our society, from impact to health, impact in the insurance as well, all across the sphere, especially to the customers and the shareholders, definitely. We just live to watch and celebrate as well, and definitely as well invest. Thank you so much for your time. I leave you now with the markets.